This looks harmless. A root beer float, sweet, cold, ordinary. But inside this glass was a poison so deadly it shuts down your organs. One by one, he trusted the person who made it. He drank every last drop. And for 9 months, no one questioned his death until a random burglary exposed a secret hidden in nearly 7,000 messages. How does a simple drink become a murder weapon? And why did it take 9 months before anyone even asked the question?
This woman is a murderer, okay? And I know that. I have not gone to nobody and said anything because I don't have no proof on it.
He accused you of murdering your husband.
I did not murder my husband.
Poison in his drink.
That would show me a toxicology report if that happened.
Was there an autopsy done?
Yes.
There was an autopsy.
Autopsy and toxicology.
Okay.
He died because he had pericarditis that was undetected.
I'm just telling you what he said.
He's lying.
Okay.
Harold Allen was 52 years old. He lived a quiet life in Indiana. Nothing about his world suggested danger. Nothing at all. On December 20th, 2022, Harold Allen was found dead inside his own home. Doctors looked at the scene, they looked at the body, and they made a decision. Natural causes. Case closed. But what if everything they believed was completely wrong? Behind the quiet walls of Harold's home, something darker had been building. 2 people, one shared goal. His wife, Marcia Allen, and her accomplice, Ashley Jones. They didn't start with antifreeze. First, they tried hemlock, the ancient poison, the one that killed Socrates. It didn't work, so they tried again. Pong pong seeds, a tropical plant, highly toxic. That didn't work either. Why did these methods fail? And how long were they willing to keep trying? So they turned to something simpler, something you can buy at any gas station, something with no taste, something with no smell, antifreeze, mixed into a root beer float, topped with whipped cream and sprinkles. Think about that for a moment. The care it took to make it look normal, to make it look loving. Did Harold have any idea what he was being handed? December 19th, 2022. Harold drank the float. Minutes later, he started feeling sick. His body was shutting down. The antifreeze was working. He was suffering. In his own home, on a winter night in December. But instead of calling for help, she waited. 5 hours. 5 hours passed before anyone called 911.
911.
Yeah, this is 3287 North State Road 135. My husband's in our bedroom floor. He's non-responsive.
Is he breathing?
No, he's not.
Okay, hold on. Did you find him like that?
Yeah, I work from home and I went back there to check on him because he's been sick. And then when I went back there, he was just laying on the floor like he was trying to get up and go to the bathroom or something. And he's not breathing.
Okay. Do you want to start CPR if I help you?
Yeah, I could do that.
Why didn't she call immediately? What was she waiting for? When authorities arrived, nothing seemed out of place. A grieving wife, a cold body, a quiet house, no signs of struggle, no reason to look deeper. The death was ruled natural causes. No toxicology report was ordered. The perfect crime had worked. Harold Allen was buried, and the world moved on. So what went wrong? How does a perfect crime unravel? 9 months after Harold Allen's death, a completely unrelated crime changed everything. 2 men, Stephen White and Nathaniel Napier, were arrested for burglary. One of them made a deal with prosecutors, and what he told police was shocking. This wasn't a natural death. Harold Allen had been murdered. Investigators went back. They dug into every device, every account, every message. What they found was staggering. Nearly 7,000 text messages between Marcia Allen and Ashley Jones. He needs to go. Message after message. Planning, scheming, calculating. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was a calculated, deliberate plan, plotted over time, in writing, between 2 people Harold trusted. How long had they been planning this? And how many attempts had there actually been? Marcia Allen was brought in for questioning. Investigators laid out what they knew: the messages, the timeline, the poison. Hours after being questioned, Marcia Allen was found dead. By suicide. Just like that. One answer gone forever. Justice denied for Harold in the most final way possible. But the investigation didn't stop. Ashley Jones confessed. She had helped plan the murder. She had helped carry it out. She had watched Harold die. Ashley Jones was behind bars. But even there, it wasn't over. Investigators discovered something inside the jail. A list. A kill list. Witnesses on that list. People who could testify against her. Targeted from behind bars. How far was she willing to go? How many people was she prepared to hurt to protect herself? In 2025, Ashley Jones was sentenced. 50 years. Harold Allen's family finally had an answer. But the real question, the one this story leaves behind, isn't about Ashley Jones. It's about the system. A man died. His death was ruled natural. No one looked twice. And he almost got away with being forgotten. How many others are out there? How many crimes go unnoticed? Because they look natural? Ashley Jones, sentenced to 50 years in prison, 2025. Harold Allen was 52 years old. He deserved better.